Welcome to the Collab School with your host Marie Grace Berg. Her goal here is to help you build your list fast, make more sales and get more clients on demand for your coaching and consulting business. Here, she'll be talking about all things collabs and partnerships, but most importantly how to make partnerships and collaborations fun, easy and mutually rewarding. She's on a mission to create financial freedom for all, one episode at a time. Thank you for listening and hope you get a ton of value.
Welcome to the Collab School podcast. Today's episode is all about how to crush your next affiliate promotions. And here with us is the man behind the #1 affiliate in one of the biggest book launches in history by Hormozi. His name is Davies. He is a 7 to 9 figure. He helps 7 to 9 figure brands and high ticket coaches. And I'm excited to be digging deeper into what his strategy was in terms of topping the leaderboards on Hormozi's launch. So Christian, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Mary. It's a complete honor. I feel all this feels so surreal because I just know what it feels like to have nothing, and just anything extra is a complete bonus for me. So it's a pleasure.
It's such an honor to have you here. It's really a pleasure actually having you. Been following you for a while, and I want to give context to our audience on why we're going to be talking today. So why don't you share with us a little background story leading you to what you're doing right now, and also how did you get into Hormozi's launch, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, so it's been crazy. I discovered online marketing in 2016. I actually started high ticket drop shipping, and then realized I hated the customer service part of it. And also anybody out there that's trying to make it through online marketing, starting a business to not be client facing or to try to make passive income is a huge mistake in my opinion. Do that stuff if you absolutely love it, but don't do it just to avoid other stuff because it sounds easy, because putting all the pieces together is way harder than just learning one small thing and scaling up from there. So that's why I tried a bunch of business models over the years, Amazon FBA, drop shipping, Kindle publishing. Kindle publishing I actually learned to love. And even though I got in it for the wrong reasons originally, but then I fell in love with writing. And then I met a mentor actually that I met in Thailand who said, whoa, you are making pennies when you could be making tens of thousands of dollars for all these words you wrote just by switching to copywriting. And so yeah, basically that's what I did. And I had a job where I was scraping rotten chicken grease at Costco, and fantastic learning experience. Not gonna lie, it kind of put a chip on my shoulder just because I just, some people there didn't believe in me when I told them my dreams and stuff. So one time when I came back from Thailand, I was like, hey guys, I'm gonna make multiple 6 figures a year and travel the world. They all turned and looked at me and laughed. It was actually pretty funny, but yeah. So I eventually quit to go to Cancun, Mexico, and I met a guy at a meditation circle there that introduced me to email copywriting. So immediately I didn't have any money. I was making $2.90 an hour because I actually moved to Mexico to work for a mentor for free. And so I'd work for free for him in the morning. Sometimes I had to be there at 4 in the morning, and I'm walking through this cartel infested ghetto, just praying that I'm not going to get mugged or something, because the National Guard pulled me over one time and basically said, hey, it's no es seguro aquí, it's not safe here, don't walk. But I had to get to this mentor so I could help him out. And I was just that dedicated to my copy that I just didn't really care about anything else. And so yeah, just getting around mentors is the most powerful thing you can do, but I'll talk more about that later. So basically I discovered a course, didn't do any market research, did not care, just in my gut, I knew it was the right thing. On the sales call with the guy, I was just look, dude, you don't have to sell me. I don't care. I'm all in. Here's my credit card. And even though I was making no money, I had very minimal savings, and was in a really bad situation. I mean, I was just eating like white rice, avocados for like 50 cents a piece and washing my clothes in a rusty sink. And yeah, just feeling like completely broken, like I wasn't like worthy of what I wanted. So that's why I'm passionate about helping others. And then yeah, I just put on a credit card, and then I saw an event, and I put that on a credit card as well. It was Copy Accelerator back when that was still a thing with Stephen Georgie. And I saw Troy Erickson in the Facebook group there, and I realized, like in my head, like if I can just get in front of him and make my case, then I know he has the power to transform my life. And he was already looking for people to like work under him. So I approached him at Copy Accelerator, and at this time, since I had so many failures and overcome so much, like my heart was beating out of my chest for no reason. Like business and stuff makes you like way stronger, like over the course of your life. And so I approached him and said, "What's up, dog? I'm Christian. I want to make you rich, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen." And he's like, "Well, I'm looking for an executive assistant, aka you can like do a bunch of grunt work for me, take out my trash." And I don't care. He was a couple years younger than me, but I moved out to Florida, and I was willing to do whatever. I didn't even ask about the money. You know, I was just like, as long as you pay me enough to cover my bills, then we're good, because it's better than working for free. And
Wow.
yeah, moved out there, and he just completely transformed my life. I mean, it'd be easier to name things that didn't change.
Wow.
You know, like, yeah, I just like when I got my first 20K a month, I called up my first mentor, the one I moved to Mexico for. And this is like double my lifelong income goal. That was just like 8K a month. Now I'm thinking like 100K a month. Like, how could I have thought so small? You know, that's the power of getting around people that are like crushing it, because then 100K a month feels normal. Because like all of a sudden I went from such an extreme poverty situation to living with two 26-year-olds who are making between 400 to 600K a month each, and like supercars in the driveway and stuff. The neighbors hated us. They didn't believe in online business. They thought like they were drug dealers or something so ridiculous. Yeah, scam. Like, no, it's called providing a service that makes people rich. And yeah, so like anyway, I called up my mentor. I like would like not gonna lie, some tears in my eyes, because it's just I've been through freaking hell to get here, and I had so much credit card debt and student loans, and I all paid it off. And I was like, "Look, man, you took time out of your day, despite working 12 hours a day, and helped me with my copy and gave me advice that set me to where I am. Like, what can I ever do to repay you back?" And he said, "Christian, like, just promise you'll give back to others the same way I gave back to you.
Pay it forward.
Pay it forward." Because that's why if I find someone who's super just like humble and doesn't realize their worth, but they're a super hard worker and they're willing to do whatever it takes, like I have a soft spot for that, because yeah, anything's possible. So
What
here we
a
are.
beautiful story. What I'm moved by your story, and it reminded me when I got started in the online space. My mentor was John Lee Dumas of Entrepreneur on Fire. That's how I got into podcasting. To this day, back then, that was in 2016. I feel like it's been ages. Back then, he was still getting private mentorship, and I was very lucky. I think it was luck that I got into this world. And to this day, and I am forever grateful for him, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. I wouldn't be where I am today. And it really attests to the fact that mentors really are one of the secret sauce, if I would say, to not just to shortcut your learning curve, but to your success. I mean, with you are also a testament to this one. And for all of you who are listening, I mean, mentors are what got me to where I am today. Christian is the same. And if you talk to successful people out there, every one of them have had mentors or have had coach that help them. So I hope you see the the importance of having a mentor, especially now, because you don't have to do this one alone, and I wouldn't suggest going it alone. And also the beauty of it is that it really, really buys back the time and energy and effort that you would have spent trying to figure things out.
Oh yeah, I mean, my DMs are loaded up with people that are telling me their story, and they're like, "Hey, I've been stuck at 2K a month as a copywriter for 8 years," or "I literally don't know what to do." And the crazy thing is, you can look up the science behind this. Like, your physiology changes, like your brain and your body literally change to be around the people you're with when you're there in person. So when you just get around some freaking savages that are like plowing through obstacles that take other people like years in a single day, like your just brain rewires and you're just like, oh, I can do anything.
Yeah, yeah. And you see that what things that for you was not even possible, that are like, I mean, when I went into this world, I mean, I didn't know anything because I've been a nurse half of my life. I felt like, I was, I wish I knew this one, before I spent 20 years being but then I also think that it is always, there's no right, no wrong time for anyone to get started, especially if this is something that you want to go into. And we're going to talk more about how you're helping other people, but I want to talk about the Alex Hormozi's thing. Let's give them the gist of, because one of the goals for this podcast is to share what's working and how our audience can learn on doing affiliate promotions, participating in affiliate launches, doing joint ventures, doing collabs, expert collabs with other people, because I believe in partnerships and collabs to help really accelerate not just our list building, but our growth as a business owner. So let's talk a little bit about the Hormozi launch. What has been, so you are a great email copywriter, not just copywriter, but email copywriter in particular. I love email marketing. And so I want to know, or maybe you can share with us, our audience, is that the secret? What are some of the top secrets that you deployed that got you crushing these launches? I mean, there were huge names, probably with big lists as well, participating during this launch. I participated as well, but I mean, you tapped everyone out there. So share us, what was your biggest strategy that we can learn from with you participating and tapping the leaderboards of Alex Hormozi?
Yes. So yeah, I got 30% more than the second place person. So it was definitely a landslide. And it was for my client publishing.com. And the majority of our entire audience was in their email list. So it was all pinned on me and my strategy and stuff. Like email copywriting is super fun and interesting, but let's be real, anybody can learn the ins and outs of being extremely persuasive. It's more like the tech and strategy behind studying the data, critical thinking, being able just to have your finger on the pulse of a list and like have a gut feeling for when something's going to improve based off data as well. And if you don't have as much, then you rely on your gut more. So anyway, we had this call with the CEO, Christian Mickelson, and he said, look, this is personal for me. I really look up to the Hormozis, and my wife, Charlotte, made the book for 100 offers. And so you have to make us the #1 affiliate. Like, second place is last place. And I looked in dead in the eyes, knowing nothing about how many people I was up against, the size of their lists, or everybody else had already started a week or two before us. And I just said, consider it done. I will find a way to figure it out and to make you the #1 affiliate. Then I got off the call and I just started saying everybody that I walked past, hey, what's good? I'm gonna be the #1 affiliate for Hormozi. And I just truly believed in my gut. And I knew we also had a really good chance too, because we're an industry leading company. And but I knew that there was a lot of other industry leaders doing it, a lot of millionaires and even one billionaire. I think it was 23,000 people participated. Anyway, so the meat and potatoes of this strategy was, with anything, when you have a problem that you need to fix, in your business or specifically email marketing, you want to find something that's working and model off that and improve and then test until you find what's working. So I just I knew that since I lost a couple of weeks, I couldn't be making the same mistake that other people were making the last 2 weeks because I would be falling behind learning the mistakes, then they'd all be a week or two ahead of me. So I dialed into what was working for other people first. I opted into all the lists and just started reading. And then I went to Nothing Held Back, legendary marketers Alan Soltanich's Facebook group. Highly recommend the posts in there. They're like novels. And I started combing for strategies that would improve my results. And I found the dual sequencing method, which is interesting because you're not just taking them through like a psychology sales process of hyping them up in the beginning, making them believe it's true, social proof, closing with logic, like a FAQ, objection clearing, and then fear, a little bit of ethical fear. And there's ways you can word it that don't sound as bad as it sounds. And then scarcity, of course. So outside of that like grand scope picture, you have when to time your content based off of the content people want to read during certain times of day. So for this, it was educational in the morning because this niche, especially make money online, like very motivated people want to learn in the morning. And then at night, they want more motivational stuff. And then, so that was just like the skeleton of it. But the extra tricks I used was a lot of like reframing. So like, instead of saying, hey, join the book waitlist, because, you know, it's all about the offer. And a lot of copywriters will be like, oh, my offer was weak, so that means my copy's weak, and that's a good excuse. Like, no, you can reframe what you call an offer, and that does a ton of the heavy lifting. So if you're not that good of a copywriter, just get really good at naming stuff and like feeling in your gut and like getting a feel for what the list wants, and then boom, you're good to go. So I reframed it as like a Great Gatsby style VIP waitlist for a party. And then I also dangled carrots because the caveat of this experiment was I couldn't just load up the waitlist with people. You know, otherwise I'd just be doing a few sends emails and, you know, basically clickbaiting people. Like there's ways around it, but instead they had to show up. So I was dangling carrots. So I took all the carrots that Hormozi was dangling as far as the ones on the call, and you know, it sounds obvious, but a lot of people weren't doing this in the space. And some of the top people like Sean Ferris, he was doing it like the best. I noticed as far as like the top leaderboard, because he did amazing for having such a small list. He's a really good copywriter. And then yeah, just like I like statements that are that make people's brains itch. Like it's we're going to give you a gift. It's going to be under your seat, you know, like visualizing something like Oprah, but it's going to be more expensive than a gift card, but less expensive than a Tesla. You know, I found that I've been able to get insanely high click-through rates by saying what something is not instead of like what it is without being specific. Because when you're vague, I mean, there's a balancing beam of this. Like when you're vague, it usually makes people less curious, not always. But when you start saying what something's not, you can be as specific as you want, and then it makes their brain hurt even more until they know.
Psychology. Okay.
Yeah. So it's really trippy. And a lot of this stuff I didn't learn from books. I just learned from like testing and seeing data and just like being really creative and then just writing stuff out. So yeah, just studying the data is literally everything. And then, which means pre-scheduling all your content can't always be the case. You have to be updating it in real time. So like I was going to a music festival during the Hormozi thing, but you better believe I was like ready to adjust based off the data. And no matter what was going on, like I was shifting my plans. So like my friends were like, hey, what are you doing on your phone and computer all the time? Like, that's kind of pathetic. I'm like, you guys have no idea what's going on in the marketing world right now. Like we're about to freaking pop this off. So yeah, that was fun. That was just a few of the like the main techniques I used.
So you mail out in the morning and then in the evening as well, and then you watch the data. So I love what you said about modeling what's working, testing, and of course improving. based on the data. So you're getting the data on a daily basis, I would assume, looking into what's happening and what other people are doing. And I'm a big fan of Christian Mickelson. He's one of my early mentors in the joint venture world, along with Rich Gorman and Milana Leshinsky. They were actually big on the joint venture launches back then. It feels like it's been like a long time ago, but this is not too long, maybe about 7-8 years ago. So I learned a lot from them, and I love and he is also a great copywriter. I love everything that he puts out there, and it's amazing. It's very interesting to hear that what a small world we live in today, and how we are interconnected with each other. So okay, so you got all of this figure out, and how did so for the bonuses you mentioned about the like giving them the not the what's not or what's what was it that you said what is not about it. And I'm curious about the bonuses, because I also opted into a lot of the other affiliates on the launch, and I look at their bonuses because I also look at modeling for not just for this launch but for the other people, for other launches that I do. I always look at, okay, what are they putting out there, what's the psychology behind, why are they giving these bonuses? So in terms of bonuses, what were the bonuses that you guys have, and do you think that help with conversions?
So you mean as far as like publishing.com or as far as the Hormozi launch?
Yeah, on the Hormozi launch.
Yeah. The Hormozi launch, he just basically gave away like those free courses on the call. And so my clients were actually messaging me live while I did it. Like I woke up from this music festival, didn't really sleep that much. It was like a Sunday, but still I'm working every day, so it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I choose to still live my life occasionally, but I'm always like working anyway. And then they're messaging me, Christian, what have you done? Like we just we just basically had everybody opt into another guru's course, and now he's high ticket closing them live right before we do a Black Friday launch. And I'm like, hey guys, calm down. Okay, I know Hormozi. He's gonna make it all free.
Yeah.
Just trust the process. And he made it free on the call, and that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So that was the main like strategy behind the language.
Yeah.
The strategy behind the segmenting was pretty interesting as well, because that's the problem with, and that's why it's absolutely so easy to kill the game as an email marketers, because you just have to know a little bit of tech skills, and all of a sudden you're leaps and bounds above everybody, because everybody just knows the writing, which anybody can learn super easy. Now, it was through segmenting, so making sure that I'm still sending to a small portion of Apple privacy people. And, this is kind of getting really deep into email marketing stuff. So if you have any questions about this, anyone that's listening, you can message me, because this gets really nitty gritty. But usually ESPs, like email service providers and CRMs, will exclude those from your sending segments. So it's a bunch of people just falling through the cracks without them even knowing. And so that's a really easy way to actually get clients. And I have a lesson on actually how to get clients, pointing out stuff they're doing wrong, and close 5K retainers. I'm in my Facebook group for free. And because I'm following the Hormozi method, I'm just giving away a bunch of stuff for free. And then, so that was a big thing. We also had Matthew Klassen, who with his CRM Inbox Alchemy was helping us re-engage our older dead leads at like a breakneck pace. That was really interesting, because for anybody that's interested in email deliverability, I won't go too deep into it, but we set up like 10 different domains and IPs and stuff. And we had a bunch of re-engagement campaigns going at the same time, so that we could take all the openers and we could funnel them to the Hormozi thing. So we basically had a million things going on, all funneling towards this. And Matthew is a huge piece of that. So I really appreciate him.
So basically, it's email marketing. The secret really is email marketing. So for those of you who are listening and watching right now, really, if you are not into, or if you haven't studied or not deploying email marketing in your strategy, this is the time, and Christian is the man to go. So why don't you tell us a little about your program, also where they can go to learn about this, especially for those who are looking into finding mentors now that we are in the early month of 2024. This is the best time to get this one done. So let them know where to go, and then we'll wrap things up.
Yeah, so definitely check out my free Facebook group, Email Marketing Secrets and Strategies Unleashed. And then you can add me on Facebook /Christian the Copywriter, Instagram Christian the Copywriter. Then I have YouTube and TikTok as well. But I'm most responsive on Instagram and Facebook if you want to shoot me a message. And yeah, right now I'm building a group coaching program, but for now I just have the free group. It's like a course as well. So if anybody has like lesson requests in there, they can just ask me, and I'm just going ahead and making any of the lessons people need, as far as like how to get clients, how to get the maximum results for their clients, how to close clients on the phone, get 5K retainers, and live a life of more freedom and money.
Awesome. Well, Christian, thank you so much for the opportunity to share your story, not just your story, but your tactics and strategies and what you do out there, how you are helping people. Truly an honor to have you here. So again, I hope to be one of the catalysts in spreading your message out there and your story, because wow, I was really moved with the story, that what you've been through and where you are right now. It's really a testament to we can change our lives, we can change our stars to live a better life. And there's a lot of ways to do it, and Christian's strategy is one of them. So I hope if you are inspired by it, please connect with Christian. I'm going to be linking the links to his social media platforms so that you can really connect and go further with him. So again, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. One last note for any of the viewers that are trying to make it. No matter where you are and no matter how dark things may seem, like I remember just being in such an insanely dark place, like you know, tons of credit card debt, tons of failures to my name. Everything I was trying at the time wasn't working. I didn't realize it, but it was all leading to a bunch of bigger wins later. And I just looked around at me and realized, like, all this will feel like a nightmare one day, and I'll be able to laugh and smile. And so since my life's transformed, like, I wake up every day with tears of joy, and it never gets old looking out over my little top floor apartment and the view of the ocean, watching the sunrise every day. Like, it's just the beauty of a struggle is that you never take things for granted. So take these hard times and use it as fuel to excel you into the next path of your life. You got this.
Amen to that. Thank you, Christian.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to another episode at the Collab School. Hope you found something valuable in today's episode. Please download your free gift by going to www.mariegraceberg.com/podcast, and if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that so you can be notified every time we drop future episodes. Also, if you haven't left a review, please leave a 5-star review so we can reach more people with this podcast. Thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you on another episode.